Hello everybody, it's Goknath from the Crack with Gokulnath YouTube channel. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. So today we're going to solve some JEE mains question. So let us start to solve, guys. Our first question is the sum of infinite series of quaternions of 2 plus quaternions of 8 plus quaternions of 18 plus quaternions of 32, and like that it's going on. So they're asking what is the sum of this infinite series. Now guys, whenever you see these type of problems, what you need to do is first to find the general term of the series. First to find the general term of the series. So what is the general term of the series? So guys, observe this series carefully. The general term of the series will be, I will write here, okay? The general term of the series will be cot inverse of 2r square. That will only be the general term. How I'm saying is, guys, apply 1 in place of r. When you apply 1 in place of r, you will get cot inverse of 2. When you apply 2 in place of r, you will get cot inverse of 8. When you apply 3 in place of r, you will get cot inverse of 18. When you apply 4 in place of r, you will get cot inverse of 32. So, you need to apply every value in place of your rth term and check whether the series is same as your general term. So, that is why you should choose your general term of the series. Now, we got that cot inverse of 2r square is a general term. Now, if you are having a general term means, what is our next step should be? That should be your summation process. If you are having a general term means, you should do a summation. So, let me write a summation of, I will write down 1 minute guys. A summation of r is equal to 1 to the infinity, because this is the infinite series. So, r is equal to 1 to the infinity of cot inverse of 2r square. Summation of cot inverse of 2r square divided by from r is equal to 1 to the infinity, because that is what they given in the question, right? So this is what I wrote. Now guys, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to convert this cot inverse into tan inverse. I'm going to convert this cot inverse into tan inverse. So how I will convert? How means, see guys, 1 minute. Summation of r is equal to 1 so infinity of cot inverse of 2r square means tan inverse will be 1 by 2r square. Tan inverse will be 1 divided by 2r square. This is what I wrote, because tan theta and cot theta are reciprocal relation. So reciprocal of 2r square is 1 by 2r square. So that's what I did. Now guys, what I'm going to do is, in this term, what I'm going to do is, in this term, I'm going to multiply by 2 on both numerator and the denominator. In this term, I'm going to multiply 2 on both the numerator and the denominator. So, when you multiply 2 on the both numerator and denominator, what you will get? What you will get is 2 divided by 4r square. This is what you will get when you multiply 2 on both numerator and your denominator. Now, guys, what I'm going to do is, I will write here, okay? Summation of r is equal to 1 to infinity tan inverse of 2 divided by 4r square. So what I'm going to do in the denominator is, I'm going to add 1 and subtract 1. At the denominator, I'm going to add 1 and subtract 1. So what I'm going to do is, add 1 and subtract 1. That's what I'm doing. Now I did like this. I added 1 and I subtracted 1. Okay guys, that's what I did. So 2 divided by 4r square plus 1 then minus 1. Just I'm adding 1, subtracting 1 in the denominator. Now guys, can't I write now how I'm going to convert the summation is, summation of r is equal to 1 to infinity of tan inverse of 2 divided by 1 plus 4r square minus 1. Guys, see here, we are having a term like 4r square minus 1, right? So, what is 4r square minus 1? That is 2r plus 1. I will write here, guys. 4r square plus 1 is 2r plus 1 into 2r minus 1, because 4r square minus 1 is 2r plus 1 into 2r minus 1. So that's what I am writing. That means 4r square minus 1 is 2r plus 1 into 2r minus 1. This is what I wrote. Now guys, what I'm going to do in the numerator is, I'm going to write this 2 as 2r plus 1, then minus of 2r minus 1. See guys how beautifully I framed. I'm writing this 2 as 2r plus 1 minus of 2r minus 1, because anyway it will be 2 only. But why I'm doing this is, can't I convert this summation as summation of r is equal to 1 to infinity of tan inverse of 2r plus 1 minus tan inverse of 2r minus 1. Can't I convert like this? Yes guys, because how it looks like means tan inverse of a minus b divided by 1 plus ab. So one formula should click onto your mind. What's that formula? Tan of a minus tan of b is tan of a minus b divided by 1 plus ab. So that's what it looks like, right? So tan of a minus b divided by 1 plus ab means tan of a minus tan of b. So tan inverse of a 2r plus 1 minus tan inverse of b, which is 2r minus 1. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just using the basic formula of tan of a minus tan of b, which is only in industry trigonometry. That's what I'm using. Now this is what we got. Now I will rub one and all things which I wrote earlier, guys. I had rubbed those things. Now see here guys, this is what we got. This was the summation which we got. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open this summation. How I'm going to open means, put r as 1, put r as 2, put r as 3. So up to, you put it as up to go into infinity. So I'm going to put r as 1. So when I put r as 1, what you will get? Tan inverse of, when you put r as 1, 2 into 1 plus 3 is tan of 3 minus of 2, tan inverse of, when you put r as 1, tan inverse of 2 into 1 minus 1, that is tan inverse of 1. Next, when you put r as 2 means tan inverse of, I think you will get it as tan inverse of 5 guys, because when you put r as 2 means 2 into 2, 4 plus 1 is 5, minus of tan inverse of, when you put r as 2 means you will get as 3, okay, that's what you will get. Next is, what you will get is, when you put r as 3 means you will get it as tan inverse of 7, right, because tan inverse of 7. Next, when you put r as 3 in this expression means tan inverse of 5, okay, so tan inverse of 5. Like that, it will be going on up to tan inverse of something. See guys, tan inverse of, that means tan inverse of infinity, not something, tan inverse of infinity minus tan inverse of something. This is what you will get when you open the summation. When you open means tan inverse of 3 minus tan inverse of 1 plus tan inverse of 5 minus tan inverse of 3 plus tan inverse of 7 minus tan inverse of 5. Then after few terms, you will get it as tan inverse of infinity minus tan inverse of something. Now see here guys, in this expression, this tan inverse of 3, this tan inverse of 3 will get cancelled. This tan inverse of 5 and this tan inverse of 5 will get cancelled. And this tan inverse of 7 and another minus tan inverse of 7 will get cancelled, because when you do summation up to infinity means this every value will be getting cancelled. Even this value get cancelled with another tan inverse of something, okay. So when if every value get cancelled means the value which will be remaining is tan inverse of infinity minus a tan inverse of 1. So what I am doing is just cancelling guys. See here, the minus tan inverse of 1 is remaining. So that's what I am writing here. And tan inverse of infinity is remaining. So that's what I am writing here. So remaining values, except these two terms are cancelled. So this is what you will get. So what is tan inverse of infinity minus tan inverse of 1? So tan inverse of infinity is pi by 2. Tan inverse of 1 is pi by 4. So pi by 2 minus pi by 4 is pi by 4. So what is the value? That means what is the sum of this infinite series? That is pi by 4. That's all guys. We all use our manipulation part. Manipulation means what we need to add, what we need to subtract, what we need to multiply, what we need to divide. These are which we called as manipulation. So that's what I used and I found answer to be pi by 4. So that's all guys. So answer is pi by 4. So that's all about this question. We can move on to our next question. Our next question is integration of x divided by 1 plus x into 1 plus x square dx from 0 to infinity. So guys, the options for this question are in terms of radians, guys, because are in terms of radians, as I could not write the options in the slide, so I am saying the options are in terms of radians. So how to solve this question, guys? Basically, the value that I am going to take for x is the main decision which I am going to do for this question. So what I am going to do is, I am going to take x as tan theta. What I am going to take? I am going to take x as tan theta. When you take x as tan theta, how this integration will get converted? X. So x as tan theta means numerator will also be tan theta. Then 1 plus x, 1 plus tan theta. So 1 plus tan theta, I am going to do 1 minute, guys, 1 minute, sorry. 1 plus tan theta into 1 plus x square. What is 1 plus x square? 1 plus tan square theta. So x is equal to tan theta means this will be 1 plus x square. So 1 plus x square is 1 plus tan square theta. So what is 1 plus tan square theta? That is secant square theta. Your Pythagorean identity, guys. So 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. That's what I am writing. Secant square theta. Now guys, what will be our dx? If x is equal to tan theta means, what will be our dx? If x is equal to tan theta means, dx will be the differentiation of tan theta. So what is differentiation of tan theta? That is secant square theta. Sorry guys, that is secant square theta. Then d theta. Do people forgot that? When x is equal to tan theta, dx will be secant square theta. Not only secant square theta, you should add d theta. You should never forget this, guys. You should never forget this. If x is equal to tan theta, means dx will be secant square theta into d theta. So I write it as secant square theta into d theta. This is what I am writing. Now guys, the secant square theta will get cancelled. Now guys, what will the secant square theta and the secant square theta got cancelled? Now what will be our lower limit and upper limit? Does the limits will be same? No, the limits will not be same because I took x as tan theta. So limit must vary. So how it will vary, guys? When you put tan of 0 only, you will get the lower limit as 0. So tan of 0. Then what will be infinity? What about infinity? When you put tan of pi by 2 only, you will get as infinity, right? So that's what I am doing. So when you put tan of pi by 2 only, you will get as infinity. So that's what I am doing. Guys, this is a very important part you need to understand. Most people will do mistake in this part. When you are taking x as tan theta or any variable, you must change the limits based on the variables which you are taking. That's a must, very important thing which you need to understand. Now guys, what I'm going to do is I change the limit. Now try to understand, guys, 1 minute. Now what I'm going to do is I will rub the secant square theta and this secant square theta and I rubbed one. So this is what you will get, d theta. Now guys, I'm going to write this tan theta as sin theta divided by cos theta. I'm going to write this tan theta in both numerator and denominator as sin theta divided by cos theta. So when I write like that means, see guys, how the equation will convert is integration of 0 to pi by 2, right? 0 to pi by 2. I'm going to write this tan theta as sin theta divided by cos theta. So sin theta divided by cos theta means theta divided by cos theta, then divided by 1 plus tan theta is what? Sin theta divided by cos theta. Because sin theta by cos theta will give us tan theta, the basic formula. That's what I am using. Now guys, after doing this, how the integral will be big? How integral will become is 0 to pi by 2 only. Now sin theta divided by cos theta divided by 1 plus sin theta divided by cos theta will be sin theta divided by cos theta plus sin theta. This is what you will get, right? So cos theta plus sin theta. This is what I got. Then d theta, right? I need to write d theta here. Sorry guys, I did not write d theta. I will write it right here. So d theta. Now guys, what I'm going to do is, listen carefully, I'm going to use our famous King's rule, which is the most expected one in your JEE mains and JEE advance. So I'm going to use our King's rule. So what does the King's rule say? It says, I'll write here guys, integration of, 1 minute, integration of f of x dx can be written as, from a to b, can be written as integration of f of a plus b minus x, then dx, then the limits are same, a to b only. This is what the King's rule say, right? So that is what I am going to apply in this term. So I am going to apply our King's rule. So what does our King's rule say? It says integration of f of x dx from a to b can be written as integration of f of a plus b minus x from a to b. This is what the King's rule say, right? So apply this here. So integration of f of a plus b. What is a plus b? 0 plus pi by 2. So 0 plus pi by 2 will pi by 2 only. So f of pi by 2 minus x. When you do f of pi by 2 minus x, how the integral will get converted is, do guys, I will write this as I, okay, I will write this integral I, and I will write this integral as I. So how the another integral will be is f of a plus b is 0 plus pi by 2. So f of pi by 2 minus x is, what will f of pi by 2 minus x? Instead of x, you should write it as theta, okay, because here theta, right? So instead of x, you write it as theta. So f of pi by 2 minus theta. So f of pi by 2 minus theta is, sine of pi by 2 minus theta is cos theta. Then, 1 minute guys. Then, cos of pi by 2 minus theta is sin theta only. Your basic formula guys, sin theta plus sine of pi by 2 minus theta. What is sine of pi by 2 minus theta? That is your cos theta only. This is what I wrote. Now, does the King's rule is over, guys? Does the King's rule is over? No, guys. The King's rule is not over. You need to add these two integrals, right? Do you guys forget that? No, you should not forget that. That is the most important part in your King's rule. After converting into f of a plus b minus x dx, then you need to add these two integral. When you add these two integral means I plus I will be 2a only. So limits will be same only. What is integration of 0 to pi by 2? Then cos theta, guys, cos theta divided by sin theta plus cos theta plus sin theta divided by cos theta plus sin theta. I think you will get it as 1, guys, 1 dt, okay? 1 dt. Guys, I need to write the dt, right? Sorry. I need to write the dt. So when you add these two integral, I plus I is 2i, then integration of same limits only, then sin theta plus cos theta divided by sin theta plus cos theta, denominator is same. So they will be get cancelled. So when you add these two expression, you will get it as 1 dt only. So integration of 1 dt, so 2i is equal to integration of 1 dt, that means 2i is equal to pi by 2, because upper limit is pi by 2, right? So if 2i is equal to pi by 2 means I will be equal to pi by 4. So that's the answer, guys. So that's the answer for this question. So what is the answer? Pi by 4. What we used? We used some of our calculations. That is, I put x as tan theta, then I used our King's rule, then I used some basic trigonometric identities. So that's what I used to solve this question. So this is all about this question. We can move on to our next question. Our next question is, limit of x tends to minus 1 of x to the power of 4 plus x square plus x plus 1 divided by x square minus x plus 1 to the power of 1 minus cos of x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 whole square. Now guys, the first thing which all people will think is, we should put x as minus 1. When you put x as minus 1, how this expression will be simplified is, minus 1 to the power of 4 will be 1 only. So minus 1 square will be 1 only. Then minus 1 plus 1 divided by x square, which is minus 1 square is 1 only. Then plus 1 plus 1. Now this is what the base will give us when you put x as minus 1. Now what will be our power? That will be 1 minus cos of minus 1 plus 1. 1 minus cos of minus 1 plus 1 is 1 minus cos 0. So 1 minus cos 0 is 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0 only. The numerator is 0. Then our denominator will be minus 1 plus 1 whole square will be 0 only. Now see here guys, this value will be equal to 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1 will be 2 divided by 3 to the power of 0 by 0. Now guys, watch it carefully. You can see that we are having no problem in our base. But we are having problem in our power only. We are having no problem in our base because we are having a finite number which is 2 by 3. We are having a finite fraction which is 2 by 3. But our power is not like that. It is not like that. It is an indeterminate form. So the best way to solve the power is put limit as power. Put limit as power. So what I am saying is, guys, listen carefully. We know that we have no problem in our base, but our problem is in the power. So the best way which you can do is solve the power separately. Otherwise, you can put limit. What I am saying is, see guys, limit of x tends to minus 1 of, solve the power separately, guys. 1 minus cos of x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 whole square. This is what we have. Now, see here, guys. In the numerator, we are having like 1 minus cos of x plus 1. This looks like a form of 1 minus cos theta, right? Where theta is x plus 1. So this 1 minus cos of x plus 1 looks like a form of 1 minus cos theta because I am taking theta as x plus 1. So it looks like a form of 1 minus cos theta. So what is 1 minus cos theta? That is 2 sine square theta by 2. Do you people forget that? Guys, you should not forget this because it's a very important formula. This is the most expected one, okay, in your JEE mains. Now, 1 minus cos theta is equal to 2 sine square theta by 2. This is the basic formula which you need to do. Now, it looks like a form of 1 minus cos of x plus 1. If it looks like a form of this one means, sorry guys, I will write here, okay. 2 by 3 whole to the power 0 by 0. Now, I am continuing from this. So, how I will write is 2 sine square theta by 2. 2 sine square theta by 2 will be limit of x tends to minus 1 of 2 sine square theta by 2. 2 sine square theta by 2 will be 2 sine square x plus 1 divided by 2. X plus 1 divided by 2 divided by x plus 1 whole square. X plus 1 whole square. Now what I am going to do is, guys, I will write it 1 minute. X plus 1 whole square. Now what I am going to do is, in the denominator, I am going to divide by 4 and multiply by 4. What I did is, I am going to divide by 4 and multiply it by 4. Why I am doing this all is, this whole term will be 1, right? That means this sine square x plus 1 by 2 into x plus 1 whole square by 4 will be 1 only. How means I am using one formula which is sine square theta divided by theta square will be 1 only. Don't you people learned it? Yes, you learned in your trigonometry. So sine square theta divided by theta square will be equal to 1. How means? Because theta square theta, guys. So sine square theta divided by theta square will be 1 only. Your basic calculation only. So here also see sine square x plus 1 divided by 2 divided by theta square, because x plus 1 whole square divided by 2 square will be 4 only. So sine square theta divided by theta square, that will be 1. So this will be 1 means the remaining value left out is 2 by 4, which is 1 by 2. Now we solved our power separately, right? We solved our power separately and we got value of 1 by 2. How means? By this 1. Sine square theta by theta square will be equal to 1. So using that, 2 by 4 will be 1 by 2. Now we know the value of power is 1 by 2. Now I will rub these things. So what is our form? 2 by 3 to the power of 1 by 2. So what is 2 by 3 to the power of 1 by 2? That is root of 2 by 3. So that's the answer, guys. So root of 2 by 3 will be the answer, because 2 by 3 to the power of 1 by 2 is root of 2 by 3. So that's what I did. So the answer for this question is root of 2 by 3. That's the answer, guys. So this is all about this question. We can move on to our next question. Our next question is integration of cos x minus sin x divided by root of 8 minus sin 2x dx is equal to sin inverse of sin x plus cos x divided by b, and they are asking what is the value of b. So guys, how we are going to approach this question is, now see here, there is a term like sin 2x, right? So there is a term like sin 2x. So sin 2x. So what is sin 2x? that is 2 sin x, then cos x. That's a double angle formula which you learned in your trigonometry, which is sin theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. So that's what I'm doing here. Now sin 2x is equal to 2 sin x cos x. Now what I'm going to do is, in this expression, I'm going to add 1 and subtract 1. I'm going to add 1 and subtract 1. That's what I'm going to do. Now, how this equation will get converted is, sin 2x is equal to 2 sin x cos x plus 1 minus 1. So what is 1? That is sin square x plus cos square x. Your basic trigonometry Pythagorean identity formula. So sin square x plus cos square x only will give us 1. So I'll write this 1 as sin square x. 1 minute, sorry. What? Sin square x plus cos square x plus 2 sin x, then cos x. This is what I did. Then minus 1. This is what I did. What I did is, guys, 1 is sin square x plus cos square x. So 1 is sin square x plus cos square x means, then I added this plus 2 sin x cos x, then minus 1, because the minus 1 is left over, right? So I now added with minus 1. That's what I did. Now see here, guys, this expression looks like a form of a square plus b square plus 2ab. A square plus b square plus 2ab is a plus b whole square. So I will apply that formula. So sin 2x is equal to sin square x plus cos square x plus 2 sin x cos x can be written as sin x plus cos x whole square minus 1. That's what I did. Very basic thing, guys. Sin square x is a square. A square plus b square plus 2ab is a plus b whole square, which is sin x plus cos x whole square minus 1. Because minus 1 is left out, that's what I did. Now, guys, that's okay. That's okay. We know what is the value of sin 2x. But we did not yet solve the integral, right? So let us solve it, guys. So I'm going to solve this integral now. So I will rub this one. So try to understand, guys. What I did is sin 2x will be equal to sin x plus cos x whole square minus 1. This is what I did. Let us come on to our integral part. What is this integral? So how I am going to solve this integral? Now in this integral, observe carefully, guys. What I am going to do is I am going to take sin x plus cos x as some t, guys. I am going to take sin x plus cos x as some t for this integral. If I am taking sin x plus cos x as some t means, then cos x minus sin x dx will be dt, right? Will be dt, right? Because dt is the differentiation of t. So differentiation of sin x is cos x. So differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. Then dx, and that will be dt. Very basic concept, guys. Dt is the differentiation of that. So sin x differentiation is cos x differentiation is minus sin x, then dx, that will be dt. So here see, guys, cos x minus sin x dx. It also looks like this form, right? So I can write it as dt, right? So I can write it as dt because it looks like a form of cos x minus sin x dx. So that is dt only. That is dt only. Then divided by 8 root of 8 minus sin 2x. What is sin 2x? That is sin x plus cos x whole square minus 1, because that is what we derived before a long time. So that is sin 2x is equal to sin x plus cos x whole square minus 1. Now, what is sin x plus cos x? That is t. So sin 2x will be equal to t square, because sin x plus cos x is t. So t square minus 1. So we found that sin 2x will be t square minus 1, because sin x plus cos x is equal to t. So t square minus 1. That's what I did. Now, guys, do your basic simplification and convert into this form, which is dt divided by root of 8 minus t square, and t square, 8 of minus t square minus 1 can be written as 9 minus t square. So that's what I did. Now, guys, I will rub this one, which is 1 minute, guys, 1 minute. I will rub this one, which is sin 2x. Now, I am going to write this integral as integration of dt divided by root of 9. I am going to write this 9 as 3 square then minus t square. So why I'm doing this all? Because I'm going to use one formula. So what is that formula? Integration of ds will be root of a square. 1 minute guys. A square minus x square is equal to sine inverse of x by a plus some constant. This is what the formula. This is formula children in integration. So integration of dx divided by root of a square minus x square is equal to sine inverse of x by a plus some constant. So that is what I am going to use here, because it looks like this form, right? So 3 square is a square minus x square is this minus t square. So that's what I am going to use. So that will be equal to sine inverse of x by a. Sine inverse of x by a. What is x? That is t. So sine inverse of x by a will be x is t only, then divided by a. What is a? 3 plus some constant. This is what I did, guys. So try to understand, guys. Remember this formula, because this is the most expected one which you can expect in your JEE mains. That is integration of dx to be root of a square minus x square is equal to sine inverse of x by a plus some constant. That's what you need to understand. So I will rub this one, guys. Now what we took for t? We took sin x plus cos x as some t. We took sin x plus cos x as some t. So this t can take value of sin x plus cos x. So I will write this as I will write above, guys. Okay. So I can write this as sin inverse of t, right? So what is t? That is sin x plus cos x. So sin x plus cos x then divided by 3. That's what I did, because we took t as sin x plus cos x. We need to complete, guys. Don't think that if we took t as sin x plus cos x, then we don't need to consider the sin x plus cos x and all. Not like that, guys. If you do that mistake, then whole answer will be wrong. Don't do that mistake. So I will write that t by 3 means sin x plus cos x divided by 3 plus some constant. Now see here, guys. They are asking what is the value of b, right? So this form looks like this form, which is sin inverse of sin x plus cos x divided by b. This form is same as this form, means then b should be 3, right? Because this denominator is same, b should be 3. That means b should be equal to 3. That's all. That's all. So b can take value of 3, guys. So that is the answer. So how we found means the integration properties. Very important, guys. Integration, every formula, every property, every applications are most important for an integration problem. So be pakka on that and be good in it. Okay. So that's all. So the answer is equal to 3, guys. B is equal to 3. So this is all about this question. We can move on to our next question. Our next question is, find a for which x square plus sin inverse of x square minus 2x plus 2 plus cos inverse of x square minus 2x plus 2 is equal to 0 as a real solution. Guys, they are asking the value of a. Now, guys, how we are going to approach this question is, first consider this term, guys, which is sin inverse of x square minus 2x plus 2. Consider this term. So we are having like sin inverse of x square minus 2x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to split this 2 as 1 plus 1. That's what I'm doing. I'm splitting this 2 as 1 plus 1. So why I'm splitting this is because, can't I write this expression as x minus 1 whole square plus 1? Because anyway x square minus 2x plus 1 will be x minus 1 whole square. Then I'm adding plus 1. Now, guys, what is the domain of sin inverse of x and cos inverse of x? Domain of sin inverse of x is it is an inverse function, na? So domain is minus 1 to 1, and domain of cos inverse of x is minus 1 to 1. So domain is same for both sin inverse of x and cos inverse of x. They are inverse functions. So the domain is minus 1 to 1 for sin inverse of x, and for the domain for cos inverse of x is also minus 1 to 1. Both are same. If the domain is of sin inverse of x is minus 1 to 1 means this inside value should lie between minus 1 to 1, right? Because the domain is minus 1 to 1 means this inside value should lie between minus 1 to 1, because that is what we mean domain, right? But we know that x minus 1 whole square plus 1 should be greater than or equal to 1. How? That's because there's a plus 1, right? If there's a plus 1 in this expression means this must be greater than or equal to 1. How means there's a plus 1. And also we're having a square, right? X minus 1 whole square. We know that every square will be positive only. This x minus 1 whole square should be a positive. Even this x minus 1 can be negative. That negative whole square will be positive only. Even x minus 1 can be positive. That positive whole square will be positive only. So always square will be positive. So positive number plus 1 should definitely be greater than or equal to 1. But this should not be greater than 1, right? Because sinus of domain is minus 1 to 1. That means it should lie between minus 1 to 1. But it cannot be greater than 1, right? If it is greater than 1, we are restricting the domain. That means it should lie between minus 1 to 1. Means this should not be greater than 1. This should only be equal to 1. So I'll write it as equal to 1. Now this will be equal to 1. I will take my duster, guys. This will be equal to 1 only when this expression will be equal to 1 only when x is equal to 1, right? Because when you put x as 1, when you put x as 1 and do this expression, you will get it as 1. So this expression must be equal to 1 only when x is equal to 1. Because put x as minus 1, you will get it as 1 only. Sorry, put x as 1 and you will get 1 only. So this x should be equal to 1. If x should be equal to 1 means, what does it mean? It means I can apply those values and easily find the answer, right? So what is A? A into x square is 1 square. So 1 square is 1 square plus sine inverse of x square minus, I think 1 square minus 2 plus 2 only 1, guys, into 1 plus cos inverse of, here also it will be 1 only. It will be 1 only. Now guys, this should be equal to 0, right? So a into 1 square will be a only. So a plus, guys, here comes the important part and here comes the best important thing which you need to understand. Now see here, sinus of 1 plus cosinus of 1. You people will be wondering, we can use sinus of 1 is, we can use that 90 degree pi by 2, cosinus of 1 is 90 degree pi by 2. Like that you will be thinking, but don't need to think that. If you are pakka in inverse trigonometry, you can say that this looks like a form of sinus of x plus cosinus of x. Sinus of x plus cosinus of x is pi by 2. Guys, your inverse trigonometry formula should be pakka and it should be in your fingertips. That means sinus of 1 plus cosinus of 1 will be pi by 2 because I am using the formula sinus of x plus cosinus of x will be always pi by 2. This will be equal to 0. Then what will be the value of A? A would be equal to minus pi by 2. That's all, guys. That's all. We found the value of A is to be equal to minus pi by 2. So what is the answer? Answer is equal to minus pi by 2. That's what we found, guys. So answer is equal to A is equal to minus pi by 2, guys. So that's all about this questions on today's session, guys. I hope you guys would have enjoyed this question and you guys would have learned some new things, or maybe you can learn, or maybe you can't, maybe you know these things already. But anyway, guys, if you think it is useful, then use it, guys, and use it correctly. Then this is all about this questions on today's session. So guys, that's all, guys. So this is a JEE Mains level question. So guys, JEE Mains means, it does not mean in 2 years you need to practice, not like that. In 6 months, if you practice, you can also crack it. Because this JEE Mains is not like JEE Advanced. Try to understand. I'm not saying it's not tough only, but it's not as much tough for JEE Advanced. So that JEE Mains, you need at least 6 months of practice. Because even a person who studies for 6 months can crack it. So that means you should practice, guys. And these questions are not, what can I say? It's not like a tough questions, but if you practice, then it will be easier one. Okay, so that's what you need to understand, guys. So guys, okay, guys, thank you. Make education simple.